my blissful selves. Today, let us know in brief about the control of senses and the control of mind. Usually, people eat butter, groundnut oil, sunflower oil, palm oil, and all these have been mixed in the blood. And there will be increase or decrease in the blood pressure. And this blood pressure results in heart attack and the person may die. Nowadays, the people eat anything they like and they drink anything they like. Usually we eat tomato and the tomato seeds cause the formation of kidney stones. So these kidney stones may lie in the pelvis of the kidney or in the ureters of the kidney, and there will be no proper urination. So if the kidney stones are present in the kidney, so they will be in a position to cause more pain. And by this, there will be no proper filtration of blood. So the blood becomes poisonous. And people lose their life. Earlier, tamarind was used as a sore material. But now people think that tomato sore is more tasty than tamarind sore. And they eat tomato. And there will be formation of kidney stones. And they suffer with that. And sometimes they lose their life. Some people say, if we don't eat a non-vegetarian food, how we can get energy? But the elephant and the horse, are vegetarians. But they are more powerful. The elephant is very powerful. It can kill the tigers and the lions very easily, but it is a timid animal. Even the horses are vegetarians. They also have a maximum power. Our body requires protein, and this protein is present in the groundnut seeds and in the pulses. In the non-vegetarian food, so the disease-causing chemicals are more in number, and the non-vegetarians suffer with more number of diseases. And in vegetarian food, there are less number of chemicals causing the diseases. So the vegetarians have less number of diseases. So many people say that the non-vegetarian food is tasty. But the taste that is there, it is due to spices. If we add the spices, they become tasty. The raw non-vegetarian food is not tasty. But there is a common illusion in people that the non-vegetarian food is only tasty. In Bengal, the conceived women eat the non-vegetarian food, and they are warned not to take non-vegetarian food because their children will be in a position to be infected by cancer and other diseases. In China, people eat anything. For example, they eat cockroaches, they eat termites, they eat scorpions, snakes, and bats. In China, there are maximum number of diseases and a maximum number of diseased people. We should not eat the eatables which cause diseases to us. We should not drink. And if we drink alcohol, so there will be headache and there will be burning sensation in the stomach. The eyes become inactive. The heart doesn't work. The lungs don't work. The kidneys don't work. The liver will be reduced in size. And the digested food cannot be transformed into blood. So the blood becomes poisonous and the body also becomes poisonous, and lastly the body dies. Nowadays, the boys of teenage of about less than 20 years die due to drinking of the intoxicants. If one drop of alcohol has to be prepared, countless number of worms have to be dead. By drinking, the latent unsatisfied desires rise up and they cause to do many sinful actions. By this, heinous lives can be attained. These sinful living beings express their sufferings in the form of ghosts. So those persons who can control the senses and the mind are called as human beings. And those people who cannot control the senses and the mind are called beasts. We can control the senses and the mind if we remove the craziness of words, the craziness of form, touch, taste, and smell. Those who have become slaves to the senses, they cannot do any virtuous actions, and they cannot meditate the Atman. If we remember the sensory objects, how can we meditate the Atman? It is impossible. The sinful persons hurt others. So the persons who can control their senses and the mind, they can become happy. They can become happy and they can make others happy. And those who cannot control the sensory organs of action, and the mind, they cannot become happy and cannot make others happy. So control of senses and the control of organs of actions and the mind is absolutely necessary to become happy. So the persons who can control the sensory organs, organs of action, and the mind, so they are very calm. Their mind is very calm. And they can talk few pleasant words. So the control of sensory organs, the organs of action, and the mind is the Indian heritage. So those who can control the sensory organs and organs of action and the mind belong to great clan. We are intoxicated with the craziness of words, of smell, of touch, of taste, like that. Some people, suffer with diabetes, and the doctors warn them not to eat sweet. But the patients eat sweet, and there will be no control of sugar in the blood, and they die. They suffer, and lastly they die. And some suffer with the high blood pressure. The doctors warn them not to eat salts and pickles. But the patients eat the salts and eat the pickles, and the blood pressure cannot be maintained, and lastly they lose their life concern. Usually there is no happiness in salts and pickles and sweet, but we think that there is happiness in salts, in pickles, in sweet, like that. Usually the happiness is in the Atman. Though we may enjoy happiness by different objects, so the sensory object or the deep sleep or drinking or pranayama or yawning, but the happiness that has been experienced belongs to Atman only. The happiness is in the Atman. But we think that the happiness in the sensory objects. So when we get the sensory object of our liking, the mind becomes calm. And in the calm mind, the happiness of our self only has been reflected. But we think that we get the happiness from the sensory objects. So by this I end my talk.